What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 26th day of November in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. Credit to the private sector grew by $150 billion since the end of 2020. Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, has revealed. He made that disclosure this morning at the Pegasus Suites while addressing the World Trade Center conference on banking made easier. The finance minister said the growth in credit to the private sector by the commercial banks in Guyana is simply phenomenal.
From the end of 2020 to end June 2024, total credit to the private sector grew from where it was at end 2020 at $260 billion at the end of 2020 to $410 billion at the end of June 2024. That is, in absolute terms, over the period from end 2020 to June 2024, an additional $150 billion of credit provided to the private sector by banks in Guyana.
Dr. Singh said the figure represents a 58% growth rate in less than 4 years. It was pointed out that credit to the private sector in the area of agriculture grew by 19.4% in 2021, 15.5% in 2022, and 14.7% in 2023, while private sector credit in the area of manufacturing increased by 27% in 2021 to 36% in 2022, and the further increase of 15.8% in 2023. Similar increases were recorded in the services sector, with credit to the private sector growing by 16.4% in 2021, 15.8% in 2022, and 12.9% in 2023. Among the banks performing exceptionally well is the Marara Bank Limited, according to the Minister of Finance. He said in addition to improving the accessibility of its banking services, the Marara Bank has expanded its credit portfolio. The Chief Executive Officer of the Marara Bank, Daulat Parbu, said his bank entered the banking sector at the time when access to credit by the private sector was extremely difficult. He said 30 years later, the Marara Bank is one of the leading banking institutions in the country, with its credit portfolio increasing by 34% in just 12 months.
Report that DBL is leading Guyana's credit growth. Our lending increased over the last 12 months by 34%, a growth of 24 billion Guyanese dollars, the highest in our history and the highest in the industry. This lending contributed to 38% of total lending done by the banking system over the last 12 months. That is, total lending done by all 6 commercial banks operating in Guyana for the last 12 months was 64 billion, and the Marara Bank contributed 24 billion out of that 64 billion.
According to the CEO, his bank is now the second largest lender in the country, with the second largest capital base. The bank can lend up to $11 billion to a group of companies and $6.9 billion to a single entity. He said the Marara Bank is the only bank in Guyana and in the Caribbean with 0 non-performing loans. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Marara Bank, the Marara Distillers Limited, and the World Trade Center Georgetown, Kamal Samaru, said the forum represents a 360-degree perspective of one of the critical factors of growth, banking services, at a time when Guyana's economy is recording phenomenal growth. Mr. Samaru said the Marara Bank is the only bank in Guyana to be born out of the womb of the private sector, and therefore understands the struggle and aspiration of Guyanese businesses. He said the bank has consistently tailored its products and services to meet the needs of Guyanese businesses. Mr. Samaru said, like the Marara Bank, the World Trade Center Georgetown intends to play an important role in the development of businesses in the country.
The World Trade Center Association, the World Trade Center Georgetown, intends to play an active role in helping Guyanese businesses, especially small and medium businesses, to promote their business internationally, build business connections, access markets, know-how, and best practices to facilitate the growth and expansion of their businesses.
A number of officials in the international banking sector and the local banking sector attended the conference today. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
This is Niraj Kumar, and I'm part of a team that is 300 plus strong at Guyana Logistics and Support Services Inc. We have done projects for the oil and gas company. We have done projects for CNOC. We have done projects for SBM. Those are the building refurbishment projects. We started doing that by providing work visas, permit, corporate services, helping them with the custom brokerage, then logistics and warehousing and all. We started looking forward. First of all was the International Standardization Organization ISO certification that we wanted to get. We started the journey for that with CLBD.
Honey, what were you doing? Let's cash out. Let's cash out.
Shop $5,000 or more at any Massey stores for a chance to win a 2024 Nissan Qashqai Sense and $100,000 every 2 weeks with Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot Promotion.
The Global Super League has arrived. It's time for the Amazon Warriors to face their toughest test yet. Support your Warriors as they take on cricket powerhouses from Australia, Bangladesh, England and Pakistan. Tickets are available now at the box office or online at gslt20.com. The ExxonMobil Guyana Global Super League. You don't want to miss this.
Tomorrow, the government will be asking the National Assembly to approve $30.5 billion to facilitate the $100,000 one-off cash grant initiative targeting Guyanese 18 years and older. The $30.5 billion forms part of the $84.5 billion being sought in supplementary funding by the government. Senior Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh said the government is looking to aggressively roll out the initiative before the end of the year.
We really want this to be done as quickly as possible
Here again, you would note that on the financial paper that I submitted yesterday, which we'll be considering tomorrow, we have requested a supplementary appropriation of $30 billion to meet costs associated with this distribution, which reflects how aggressively we want to roll this out, because we really do want to roll it out aggressively.
The finance minister said the initiative will be rolled out in 3 stages: registration, verification, and distribution. It was explained that citizens will be first invited to register for the cash grant within their communities, and in the case of public service workers, at their place of work.
First step is look out for the publication of the registration schedule for your area. And when that registration schedule for your area is published, I would ask that everybody of eligible age please turn up and get registered. Turn up with your ID card or your passport and get registered.
Already the government has captured the data of residents in Region 9 and some public service workers. Dr. Singh said once registration is completed, the government will engage in a verification process to ensure there is no duplication. Payments will be issued upon the completion of that verification process.
We will publish a second schedule, which is a distribution schedule, when we will go back to those very centers where we took the registration, and we will distribute the checks at those very centers where we took the registration.
Though the government is asking for an initial sum of $30.5 billion, it is expected that by the end of the initiative, more than $60 billion in grants will be issued. Municipal News report right now, the Georgetown City Council is preparing for the busy Christmas shopping season by granting approval for seasonal vending along the streets in specific downtown areas. The mayor of Georgetown, Alfred Mentor, explained today that persons wishing to secure a spot for their vending during the holiday season can do so at a cost of $3,000 per week for that one spot. In an interview, the mayor said the fee is important to keep the areas clean and to restore them when the seasonal vending period comes to an end in mid-January.
Ideally, I was in support of reducing the $3,000 to at least $2,000, but then the town clerk gave advice to the council to say why it's necessary. I think other councillors would have also agreed that why the 3,000 is necessary, because there'll be an abundance of garbage and stuff that we need to treat with. So we need to break even on this thing. It's a cost that we will have to still absorb some aspect of it, and the 3,000 that they pay will come into the coffers, but it will use to increase clearances and keeping the place in a habitable way.
The city mayor also said while vending on the sides of the streets and along the pavements will be allowed for the holiday season in the shopping district, the council will also be working along with the city constabulary and the police to ensure vendors do not move onto the roadway and affect the flow of traffic. He said vending must be done in an orderly way.
As it relates to the monitoring of these places and ensure that the people don't go out too far and don't do things that will affect the traffic, that will be managed by our constabulary. So we'll try to put more force or have people working a different shift to allow for this. I can't exactly give you the precise arrangement that will happen, but I know for sure we'll be putting some systems in place to paint the areas so they will have a line in which they're supposed to treat with or to conform with, and if they go outside their line, that is where the constabulary get involved to be able to keep them within the zone to allow for the traffic to flow and for them to enjoy an opportunity to sell.
Already along Regent Street, Water Street, and in the Stabroek Market area, the seasonal vendors have been putting out their stands to catch the early shoppers. In the past 2 years, a number of city businesses have dragged the city council before the courts over the issue of vendors blocking their businesses and access to their businesses. The city council was forced to clear a number of pavement areas of vendors.
It's here again! The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Festive Favorites Christmas promotion is here. Members, here is your chance to win and win big. You can win one of 10 50-inch television sets, over 40 grocery vouchers valued $50,000, one of 10 microwaves, one of 10 vacuums, and one of 10 Samsung cell phones. But wait, that's not all. Members also have a chance to win one 60-inch television, an air conditioning unit, a double-door refrigerator, a trip for two to Kaitro Falls, and a grand prize of $500,000. Yes, you heard right. $500,000. It's Festive Favorites at GPS CCU. To enter this promotion, you must be a member of the credit union in good standing and must have taken your first loan. Each member is entitled to only one coupon. Coupons are available at our Hatfield Street office and our representatives countrywide. Happy holidays from the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. People helping people.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
The Global Super League has arrived. It's time for the Amazon Warriors to face their toughest test yet. Support your Warriors as they take on cricket powerhouses from Australia, Bangladesh, England and Pakistan. Tickets are available now at the box office or online at gslt20.com. The ExxonMobil Guyana Global Super League. You don't want to miss this.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
President Irfan Ali recently reaffirmed the government's commitment to defending Guyana's territorial integrity and sovereignty, while utilizing the country's oil wealth for transformative development and projects. During a recent interview on DD India TV network of India, President Irfan Ali addressed the ongoing border controversy with Venezuela and also outlined his ambitious plans to leverage Guyana's resources for the benefit of its people. On the long-standing border controversy, which is currently before the International Court of Justice for a final juridical settlement, President Ali said Venezuela has made a controversy out of something that belongs to Guyana. He said the neighboring country needs to play a more active role at the International Court of Justice, where the case is being heard.
You know, Venezuela has made a controversy of something that we know is ours.
And addressing the questions about Guyana's newfound oil well, the president dismissed concerns about its environmental impact, reaffirming the country's commitment to sustainability. He said all revenues are being invested to improve the lives of citizens.
We don't see a moral dilemma because even when all our FPSOs will be operating, we still will be carbon negative. So we are still developing according to a low carbon development strategy. We are still committing to the safeguarding of the forest, but we believe that we have an opportunity now to invest and to optimize the revenue from oil and gas so that we can build out the necessary infrastructure that would allow for economic diversification.
It was also noted that the investments, coupled with plans to cut energy costs by half in the coming year, aim to position Guyana as a comprehensive hub for businesses and industries. Venezuela continues to claim Guyana's oil-rich Essequibo region. Although the border controversy remains under international scrutiny, the president reaffirmed the defense of Guyana's sovereignty through peaceful and legal means. Let's tell you now that 4 Venezuelans, 2 men and 2 women, were today charged and remanded to jail for the attempted murder of a policeman. The policeman was attacked and stabbed by the 4 outside the Stabroek Market area on Saturday. The 4 accused, 21-year-old Victoria La Cruz, 19-year-old Gabriel Campos, 37-year-old Lilbeth Velasquez, and 26-year-old Jesus Herrera, appeared before Magistrate Fabio Azor this morning, charged with the attempted murder of policeman Nathaniel Giddings. The 4 accused were refused bail and remanded to jail until the 30th of December, when the matter will continue. A police report of the incident stated that late on Saturday night, the policeman was performing foot patrol duty in the Stabroek Market area in plainclothes. The report said that while in the Cornhill Street area, the policeman observed a Spanish-speaking woman armed with a broken bottle arguing with another woman. The policeman identified himself as a police officer as he approached the women and ordered the one armed with the broken bottle to drop it. However, while talking to the 2 women, he was approached from behind by 4 other persons who attacked him and started to stab him about the body. The policeman managed to whip out his firearm and fire a number of shots in the air, forcing his attackers to flee. He was picked up by other persons in the area and rushed to the Georgetown Hospital, where he remains under serious care. The police report said he sustained several stab wounds to his body. The suspects were later arrested and charged after being identified through video recordings of the incident.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gecom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Across the region tonight, Barbados and the U.S. Export-Import Bank, U.S. Exim Bank, have signed a $500 million memorandum of understanding to improve critical sectors, including renewable energy, cybersecurity, water and sanitation, and maritime domain awareness. The agreement signed by Prime Minister of Barbados Mia Mottley and U.S. Exim Bank Chairwoman Rita Jo Lewis will finance U.S.-made goods and services for government projects that align with the island's push for 100% renewable energy by 2030 and enhance digital security. Speaking during the signing event, the U.S. Exim Bank officials said the bank sees Barbados as a key country in the Caribbean, where Exim Bank can support impactful projects that improves lives and build economies. Prime Minister Mottley described the agreement, which remains in effect through 2026, as a win for both nations, noting that the focus areas of the agreement are all central to maintaining a healthy investment climate for future foreign investment in Barbados. Nicaragua's parliament has approved a law that seeks to nullify foreign sanctions issued against President Daniel Ortega's vice president and wife, Rosario Murillo, several of their children, and some 50 high-ranking state officials. The legislation, although unable to curb the impact of sanctions outside the country, aims to nullify their reach within Nicaragua by forcing local banks and other institutions to ignore them. It was unanimously approved by all 91 pro-government deputies in the Central American nation's parliament after Ortega sent the bill to parliament last week. While Mauro Guterres, a deputy from Ortega's Sandinista party, who has been sanctioned by the U.S. since 2020, said the law enshrines the country's sovereignty and independence. The law will become effective once it is published in the official gazette, which could happen within days. And finally tonight, international news. The BBC reports that the Israeli Prime Minister says he's asking his ministers to approve a ceasefire agreement to end the current war between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. In a TV address, Benjamin Netanyahu said his government was ready for a ceasefire, but would respond forcefully to any violation of a deal. The Iranian-backed armed group and Israel have traded cross-border fire since October 2023. But fighting escalated in late September when Israel dramatically intensified aerial bombardments and launched a limited ground invasion. The conflict has been Lebanon's deadliest in decades, killing more than 3,800 people, according to officials in Lebanon. Earlier today, Netanyahu said how long the ceasefire lasted would depend on what happened in Lebanon. He also said ending the fighting against Hezbollah in Lebanon, Israel's northern neighbor, would allow the Israeli Defense Forces to increase pressure on Hamas in Gaza and focus on the Iranian threat. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable night.